Welcome to NCs and MVPs. My name is Aramis, and you got Jordy with the handheld today, sounding a lot crispier than previous times. As you see, I've been sick. The whole household is sick over here, so been battling some throat dryness, itchiness, and some soreness this last day and a half. But I'm here. JT was out digging trenches in this Texas heat and humidity, so he won't be joining us, rightfully so, because if you ever stay in Texas around this time, it's a show, and this weather sucks, very much so. But anyway, Jordy, how you doing?
Pretty good. Pretty wasn't digging trenches, not sick, just just doing a-okay.
Well, that's good. Well, today we're going to be talking about these New Orleans Saints. I know your favorite quarterback, one of your favorite quarterbacks, plays for the Saints. So let's dig into it. We're going to talk about, I'm going to go through this list, these draft picks. Now, once again, these draft picks names, these kids, these names nowadays, these parents name these kids, these names. Listen, they hard. They are hard, just like this one. Now I'm just gonna put it on the screen so everybody can see this list, and you can pause it and watch it for yourself and see for yourself. But I'm gonna put it on the screen real quick. Bam, there you go. As we talk about it, Jordan, I don't even know how to pronounce this tackle's name. It is
Taliesin?
Listen, I don't know. I can't even say his last name if I want to.
Fuaga?
Listen, that's all I know. He's a tackle out of Oregon State. He got drafted number 14 overall pick. That's all I can tell you. But they also got drafted Kool-Aid McKinstry.
McKinstry.
Yeah, they'll say McKinstry. Spencer Rattler. Bud Mings.
Bub.
Bub? Or Bud?
Yep.
Oh, that's a B. Bub. Yeah, you're right. Bub Mings. Yeah. Jalen Ford. Christian Boyd. And Hosea. Is
Josiah Ezerim.
Ezra.
That's what I'm assuming, at least.
Right, exactly. So, but yeah. That's that list. Joe, you want to tackle the big list?
Which one's the big list for them? Is that departures or signings? They about the same.
Okay, well, tackle the departures. You seem to be...
All right. Departures. Jameson Winston went to the Browns. Keith Kirkwood, Michael Thomas, Jimmy Graham, Cameron Irving, Andrus Peat, Max Garcia, Malcolm Roach went to the Broncos. Andrus Peat went to the Raiders, by the way. Zach Bond went to the Eagles. Lonnie Johnson went to the Texans. Isaac Yiadom went to the 49ers. Marcus May went to the Dolphins. And then Ugo Amadi left also.
Cool.
People that they signed / re-signed is Kellen Mond, quarterback Nathan Peterman, wide receiver.
Man, listen, hold up. I was this twice. Yeah, I've been looking at the wrong list. I was like, hold up. I'm looking at the Falcons list. I was like, hold up, this ain't right. Where are you reading that from? Now I was like, oh, it's the Falcons. I'm so stupid.
Which makes sense because originally we did say we would start with the Falcons, and then you were like, all right, the Saints. And I was like, okay, let me do a couple clicks. Cool. What is
That's probably why I was sitting here on TikTok, on Facebook.
You're just sitting here looking at me like, he just reading off the complete wrong list.
Yeah, I'm so tripping.
Wide receiver, Equanimus St. Brown.
So see, remember in our other video, that's who JT was talking about. St. Brown for Detroit Lions brother right there. Inquinimus, whatever, however you say it.
Shoot. No,
He
I'm
fast as
not
hell.
100% sure.
Can't catch the flu, boy. But he's a good special team, I guess. Inquinimus.
If that's what they got him for, like he a returner? What you saying?
Nah, he just a special team.
Oh, just a special team guy. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
He's not returning from. I haven't seen him return kicks.
Okay. Well, wide receiver Cedric Wilson, fullback Adam Prentice, edge Chase Young, linebacker Demario Davis, linebacker Willie Gay Jr., linebacker Kaliki Hudson, safety Will Harris, safety Jonathan Abram, and safety Teron Mateo. Oh, and kicker Charlie Smith. He was way down there.
You meant it's Terran Matthews.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, the Honey Badger. Yeah, Terran Matthews. The Honey Badger. All right. So, yeah. How do you feel about the Saints?
Well, as funny as he is off the field, I don't like Jameson Winston as an actual quarterback. So getting rid of him sounds like a good plan to me. It looks like they're working out a lot of secondary stuff for their defense. We talked about Chase Young and how he ain't really what he was supposed to be when he came in and hasn't ever really lived up to that hype. So that's a question mark there. So like if they're running him as like a two-man scheme type thing, I don't see him being the giant impact that like people were expecting him to be every time they're like, oh, they got Chase Young. Like, so not that he's not a piece to a puzzle, but it's like, that's not really a giant standout to me. So I don't see anything that makes me go, wow, that's what they did. Like, nothing in the draft was really like centered on anything. They got a couple of offensive linemen, couple of defensive linemen, two secondaries, a receiver, and a quarterback. So like, to me, it looks like they thought they have holes everywhere. And they got a couple of pieces to fit in a couple of different spots. And they're hoping that's going to cover up all these random people that they're throwing away or people who like actually... Because a lot of those people that we named off that left, half of that list went to some other team. So whether it was a money thing or they just figured you weren't doing enough, those people went to someone who they felt they're good enough to keep playing for us. So yeah, it just looks like a whole lot of we replaced what we just lost, but not a specific grab for anything.
Listen, I was on record saying they made a mistake paying Michael Thomas. And they did. Michael Thomas, since he had the big contract, has been unavailable. He's been hurt. He hasn't played a full season. So they finally moved on. I think they never gave Jameis, not contrary to you, they never gave Jameis a shot. Dennis Allen is not a good head coach. He's a defensive minded guy apparently. He's a former defensive coordinator. He got handed the job because the defenders, the people on defense liked him. They've been finishing they've been underperforming, especially on offense side. Their defense is aging. Cam Jordan is getting up there in age. Marshawn Lattimore is getting up in age. Demario Davis is getting up there in age. And Tyrann Matthews is getting up there in age. So there's a lot of guys on that defense. They're getting up there in age, and they're gonna need to fill in those pieces to help those guys get to where they're going. But just looking at their offense, they're trying to rebuild their offensive line, just like a lot of people in this past draft.
Yep.
Because drafting the offensive linemen seemed to be the theme early and often in this past year's draft, So when I'm looking at it and looking at just based off the moves they've made, we got Derek Carr. Derek Carr haven't been the same since he tore his shoulder, literally almost off his body. A few years back, when he was competing for the MVP. That was when John Gruden was the head coach of the Raiders. And ever since then, he hasn't been the same. So, I don't know what to expect. He signed a big money contract last year or the year before last, and he haven't lived up to that contract either. They got to get some solid receivers. They need to find a backup because Nathan Peterman is not that guy to back up anybody. Hell, he should be in the UFL. There you go, UFL.
You put too many F's in there.
Yeah, too many F's. And I'm thinking about the USFL, but they did the merger with the XFL. So the UFL, he should be in that league. That's where he should be. And even then, he probably shouldn't even be in that league because some of those quarterbacks are better quarterback than him. So because Derek Carr is a train wreck. He's been staying hurt since he's been back from that terrible injury. Unfortunate. But they like what you said, Chase Young is not that guy. But hopefully on being on the other side of Cam Jordan will help him out because Cam Jordan is a freak. I love Cam Jordan. Willie Gay is a solid linebacker to also pair him with the Mario Davis is solid. Jonathan Abrams is also a solid starting safety. So Cedric Wilson is solid, maybe 3 at receiver. I know nothing about Admiral, the fullback. But, Kellen Mond is young. He has a lot to prove. So I don't have too many expectations from him. I expect the defense to be good because they've proven to be good in spite of their offensive struggles these past couple of years after Champagne left. So I'm just not sold on the quality that they're getting on offense. That's what I'm looking at.
Because it's in front of me. I'm looking at the win-loss record for that for the NFC South last year. They finished second in their division.
But look at
9-8.
Yeah, just about to say exactly. Look who the Falcons won the division, or was it Tampa Bay?
Tampa Bay won the division.
Yeah,
but they were also 9-8.
Exactly.
So
that whole division was a shit show. But with Kirk Cousins coming to town, and once we'll talk about them here in a little bit.
Yeah. So it's gonna be those like
Kirk Cousins at least win you 10 games, 10 to 11 games, and then he got weapons. He ain't just got one weapon. He got a plethora of weapons to throw to over there in Atlanta. So I expect Atlanta at least squeak out 12 wins. At least I don't care what the the schedule look like, Kirk Cousins himself, if he's protected, he gonna squeak out some wins. Whether they look uglier or they look good, he's that man can win games and he get people paid. So
and that's why it's one of those like it very much seemed like everything was close last year. Find what works. It's like you got rid of, like you were saying, some of those aging parts, and then some of those aging parts you keep because you don't want to go all brand new. You want to keep some of your veterans, but when your whole division was like the only one of your division who wasn't nowhere near you was Carolina, and we'll talk about them later because
oh Lord,
that
Bryce Young.
yeah,
I feel so sorry for Bryce Young.
that's a whole different kind of shit show over there.
Oh,
So that's so taking them out of the equation. Atlanta was 7-10, so they was only 2 games behind you.
yeah.
So at this point, it was literally what's going to separate you from the pack. What happened last year that it was everybody bunched up because your division was. I can't say that anybody was too worried about coming into your house or you coming into theirs.
At all. For real. So, and I'm just honestly, I'm gonna be realistic with you. I'm not a big fan of Dennis Allen as a head coach. I'm not. Not everybody is meant to be a head coach, and I don't think Dennis Allen is that guy to take this team to that next level. And honestly, if I'm being realistic, and I'm not a hater, because I respect Derek Carr as not only as a person or a player, but as a person, I respect him. I have a great respect for him and his brother. But lately, he hasn't been playing the quarterback position as well as I've seen him do in previous years.
And I mean, I know you were talking about experience and whatnot for those other quarterbacks, but I was like, I don't know. I don't think they did it nearly as often as they did before, but they had
Taysom Hill.
They had Taysom Hill. I don't think they did nearly as much as they were before when they got Derek Carr, but he's still there, so he's still an option. But then they have
Taysom Hill ass can't throw. Don't get me started on him. You lucky my throat itchy. I'll go and listen.
Well, I'm talking reps. I'm talking reps, not just. Obviously, when they're getting into real throwing intentions, which is part of the reason you didn't see him that much last year. It's like, hey, when you're down, we ain't running this little quarterback keeper. It's not helping. But essentially, he is there for reps. And then, so you got him, you got Kellen Mond, you got Nathan Peterman. You just drafted a rookie quarterback. So that quarterback room is getting large. So everybody's got to understand that, hey, not everybody's going to be here next year. Like,
what end up happening is there. I hope Spencer Rattler. I hope Spencer Rattler actually makes the roster, and not just the roster, but whether it's the third quarterback or the second quarterback. I hope he actually. I don't want him to be on the scout team or what it's called. Yeah, this scout team.
Yeah, scout team.
Yeah. Because I think he has a good upside to him. Just based off what I seen him do his last, he had one good year before he got hurt and got benched got hurt in Oklahoma, and then Caleb Williams took over, and then he transferred out to South Carolina, and he actually made South Carolina actually look good at times. And they was actually competing at times. So when he was the quarterback. So, but anyway, I ain't got nothing else to say, man. It'll be interesting to see how everything come together, especially for their defense and their offense. I am head over here see what Dennis Allen does. I think this is his going on his third year as head coach of the Saints. So it's a very interesting team. They might finish around the same, if not lower, because based off what Atlanta does and what Atlanta acquired, it's gonna be interesting. So
Yeah.
you-
I think as we finish going through this division, I think the more we look at it, the more this is going to be that division that's really, really up for grabs. So somebody's got to find their way out of the pack.
I don't know. We still got to talk about the AFC the AFC South. Yeah, with the Houston, Jacksonville, Colts, and Tennessee. I think that's another one similar to this one that's gonna be up for grabs.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, you got anything else on the Saints?
Nope.
All right. Well, until next time, peace.